He didn't rob banks. He didn't threaten anyone. He created people who didn't exist, altered paperwork, and convinced banks to loan money on houses they thought were already verified. Everything looked legal. That was the problem. This isn't a story about violence. It's a story about systems trusting records more than reality. Matt Cox's fraud worked because it fit perfectly inside how real estate lending actually functions. Not how we think it functions, how it really works. When banks issue a mortgage, they don't inspect truth. They inspect documentation. Three things matter: a borrower that appears legitimate, a property that appears owned, a title that appears clean. If those three boxes are checked, the system moves forward. Cox understood something critical. No single institution sees the entire transaction. Each entity assumes someone else has verified the rest. Sometimes he used stolen identities, real people, real credit histories. When that wasn't practical, he created synthetic identities, names that never existed. Credit profiles built slowly, deliberately, just realistic enough. These weren't sloppy fakes. They were compliant. If the identity passed automated checks, everything downstream followed. To the system, existence was optional. Consistency was not. Once an identity cleared, the next step was ownership. Property records were manipulated or exploited to show clean title. No liens, no competing claims. On paper, the house belonged to the borrower, and paper is what banks trust. The physical house didn't change, the record did. With ownership established, loans were taken out. Then more loans. Same house, different lenders, different identities. Each bank believed it was first in line. Each believed the title was clean. Each believed the borrower was real. None of them were wrong individually. They were wrong collectively. Banks trusted credit bureaus. Credit bureaus trusted the submitted data. Title companies trusted county records. County records trusted volume. No one slowed the process down enough to see the overlap. Fraud doesn't need speed. It needs segmentation. As long as each step is isolated, the system keeps moving. After the first few loans cleared, fear disappeared. This no longer felt risky. It felt repeatable. That's the dangerous phase of any long-running crime. Not recklessness. Routine. Routine creates patterns, and patterns create visibility. The scheme didn't collapse because of a single fake identity or a forged signature. It collapsed because records were finally compared. The same properties appeared too often, the same structures repeated. Synthetic identities didn't age naturally. They reused behaviors. Once the pattern existed, the outcome was inevitable. The paperwork started talking to itself. Paper crimes depend on one fragile assumption, that records will remain siloed forever. They don't. Systems don't forget. They accumulate. Every successful repetition increases certainty. By the time attention arrives, the crime is already over. This wasn't a dramatic crime. It didn't look dangerous. It looked administrative. And that's why it worked until the system finally noticed it had been trusting ghosts.